Hey guys, welcome back to New to Homesteading. My name is Ray.
Hi guys, my name is Dora. Today is November 24th, Monday evening, 2025. And hope you've gotten your turkey already because it's crazy out
I'm glad I don't go to the store.
there. Yeah, Ray hardly ever goes to the store.
Yeah. And if I do, I'm actually that guy that's running so fast in there and running out.
Doesn't get a cart, just picks up things along the way.
Yeah,
and
have
let's
everything
go.
pile up. In fact, I used to go to the store and I would take my kids and we wouldn't use a cart and all my kids would carry something. Yeah. Every one of them had something. Yeah. Whether they could barely
they
carry it or
already
not.
knew.
Yeah, they knew
Okay,
it.
we're going to the store with Dad. We're just gonna have to grab stuff.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, guys, thanks for joining us. Thanks for being here. Give us a thumbs up. Share this video. If you're not a subscriber and you're watching us on YouTube, subscribe to us. If you're not a follower on Facebook, get on there on Facebook and follow us on Facebook.
Yes.
If you're on New to Homesteading and you're watching on New to Homesteading YouTube, by all means, subscribe on there. Share this video with us, with others. And as you see the title, Universal Income, Cash Obsolete, and Work/Job is Optional. That's something we're going to discuss today. I know some people think that this is not going to happen, and it's kind of difficult to really look around and think that people are just going about their daily routine, thinking that nothing is going to change when everything is changing as we speak.
Yes.
Dora's mentioned that she's been out to different stores and it's just as if the holidays are coming around, they're around the corner, and people are just so busy shopping. We've had that discussion that we're actually going to tighten up some things and we're not going to spend like we did last year on shopping. In fact, I'm noticing that just on the engine building that I do, it's been quiet. It's been silent. It's been crickets. But some people are waking up and some people are not. So what we want to show you is, I don't like that word elite. The elite people, there's nothing elite about them. They just have a little bit more money.
Mhm.
But I want to show you what these people are discussing and telling you right in your face of what the plan is. And the religious people, and I use this term religious people because there's this group out there that's just so religious minded that they're useless. They really are useless. And what do I mean? Well, these people that are religious minded will just say, you know what, that can't happen. Nothing like that is going to happen. God is in control. Yeah, they'll tell you that. Okay? It's partly true. God is in control.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely, 100%. God is in control. What we are seeing is God's plan being fulfilled, and those religious mindset people can't even see that. That God's plan is being fulfilled, and they're saying that can't happen. Well, have you read your Bible? Because according to the Bible, God's plan is being fulfilled, and this is part of the fulfillment is what we see happening. There has to be a universal income in order for Bible prophecy to be fulfilled. Cash has to be obsolete in order for Bible prophecy to be fulfilled. I mean, just think about this. God is using these people, or allowing these people to be used by these forces here to sound the alarm to people and tell them, look, this is our plan, this is what we plan on doing. And then you have those religious mindset people say, nope, I'm going to speak against it. I'm going to pray against it.
Right.
If I close my eyes, it's not going to happen. No, people, if you are awake and you are a follower of Jesus, you are seeing the plan being unfold.
Definitely. Yeah.
You're seeing it happen.
It has to. It
Mhm.
has to, just because, his plan, he's already written it. It's already been written. So if you're not reading your Bible, if you're not listening to what God has already written, then you're going to fall in that category, of things just, that's not going to happen. You're going to believe the lie.
Yeah, what's going to happen is if you're not paying attention, you're not awake, you're not preparing, and you're denying the facts that are happening, what's going to happen is the second it happens, you're going to wake up one day and be like, what do I do now?
Mm-hmm.
I'm trapped here and I'm not prepared for what is happening right now. Let me share some things with you and I'll show you. Let me see. If you can give me number 3, we'll start with this one first. And the reason I want to share this one first is because I want you to see the route that we're going. And in fact, if you've been paying attention, we're at the hospital for quite some time, and we were seeing the technology around the hospital, how AI is being implemented in everything that they do.
Yes.
Everything that they do is all electronic. And you see right here, China has introduced what's being described as the first AI-run hospital known as the Agent Hospital. Just think of that. The virtual facility features 42 AI doctors and 4 AI nurses that diagnose and treat simulated patients using real clinical data. The system can work through around 10,000 medical cases in just a few days, a workload that would take human doctors nearly 2 years to complete. See, they always try to make it sound like it's for the best of the community, it's the best for the people. This is all for you. How many doctors and nurses, medical staff is going to be unemployed? Just think of that.
Yeah.
How many of the staff is going to be unemployed? And are you going to trust AI? I mean, it's already difficult enough to trust doctors, and we're going to discuss that. In fact, that's going to be our next one, not this week, but after Thanksgiving. We're going to give a testimony and discuss what has happened and occurred with my mother in the hospital. We have been taught to just trust what doctors say because they should have the best interest for you, right?
Right.
Imagine AI. That's a machine that's programmed, that has stuff in there, and people cannot believe that this is going to happen. You have AI, a machine that will diagnose you, that will determine if you're repairable, quotation marks, if you're even worthy of saving, if your insurance will pay enough to save you, or if they're quotation marks, if the insurance says, you know what, you're at this age limit with this diagnosis within this age limit. So in other words, if they say, you know, we're going to color red, this is the red color. So if a patient is color red, then what we're going to do is we're going to look at the age gap. This is the age that they have, and within this age difference, this is the color red. If they have this diagnosis, that's also red. So that we can't save them. There's nothing we can do for you. And then they possibly won't tell you, well, guess what? Just because your insurance says this, we can't save you. No, they'll just say, well, you're unsavable. We can't help you.
Yeah.
Take a pill, go home. This is it. This is a machine that people are thinking that, in fact, we're going to get to it. If you can give me number 2. This is a video, and then we're going to go to number 1 video. And this is a long video, and we're going to play segments of it. In fact, I didn't put it in the time frame, but on the video that we're going to discuss on the first one, it discusses that everybody's going to want a robot in their home. Everybody's going to want one. Just think of it. Everybody wants the new electronic device in their home.
Mm-hmm.
You remember that vacuum that vacuum the houses, those people out there buying those.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll play this video.
Buy or sell.
What if they're right? What if we can't survive without it?
And what if taking it means losing our souls?
I'm sorry, ma'am. We can't take cash anymore. You'll need to scan your mark.
But it's all I have.
We like your credentials. But before we can finalize your position, you'll need to take the mark.
Without the mark, no one can buy or sell.
Just think of this. You may say, well, people at a cashier's going to help other people. Do you remember 2020? Do you remember that that cashier was telling you to leave the facility because you weren't wearing a mask?
Yeah, that's right.
Do you remember how easy that was? We went to restaurants and they told us, unless you put that mask on, you can't order. We're like, are you kidding me? So I have to put a mask on, order, and then I'll go sit down and take off the mask now that I can. So where does it stop? It was part of the conditioning process. See, they were able to show everyone around the world that all they had to do was put this system in, and people would immediately fall in line and do as they're told.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
It was simple. Stores, grocery stores, regular stores were not allowing you to conduct business unless you had a mask on.
Mm-hmm.
Employers were firing employees because they wouldn't take the jab. Just think of that. Imagine the mark of the beast, which will be fully in effect with all the technology that we have, that we can monitor everyone. And you're going to hear this here in a second. In fact, we'll play it. If you can give me number 1, and we'll start at the 8-minute mark. I want you to listen to this, because again, we're talking about universal, and just think about it. Just listen to exactly what they're saying, and listen to how the audience responds. That should tell you a lot.
There's a lot of folks here when it comes to the future of jobs. So let's hear about your thoughts, Elon and Jensen, on that.
Sure. Well, if you say like in the long term, where will things end up? Long term, I don't know what long term is. Maybe it's 10, 20 years, something like that. For me, that's long term. My prediction is that work will be optional.
Optional.
Optional. So
We'll take that.
yeah, I mean, it'll be like playing sports or a video game or something like that. If you want to work, in the same way, like you can go to the store and just buy some vegetables, or you could grow vegetables in your backyard. It's much harder to grow vegetables in your backyard, but some people still do it because they like growing vegetables. That will be what work is like, optional. And between now and then, there's actually a lot of work to get to that point.
Mm-hmm.
I always recommend people read Ian Banks' culture books to get a sense for what a probable positive AI future is like. And interestingly, in those books, money doesn't exist. It's kind of interesting. And my guess is, if you go out long enough, assuming there's a continued improvement in AI and robotics, which seems likely, the money will stop being relevant at some point in the future. There will still be constraints on power, like electricity and mass. The fundamental physics elements will still be constraints. But I think at some point, currency becomes irrelevant.
Jensen, any thoughts?
So just think of that. What he just said. Optional work will be optional. And you saw the crowd just go.
Yeah, crazy.
Like it's something good. Yeah. I mean, okay. Think of it. How many of us still have to go to work in order to get income to come in, right? How many of us still have to go to work in order to get paid so we can pay bills, so we can purchase groceries, so we can live? How do these people think? Of course, the audience, it could have been all billionaires. And they're just, yeah, I don't have to work anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Think about it. And he mentions, yeah, it's just like you going to go buy vegetables or growing vegetables. I mean, it's that easy that you can just go to the supermarket, but read between the lines. Read between the lines. How are you going to go purchase groceries or vegetables when money doesn't exist? You just said money's not going to exist.
Right.
So then what are you going to do? Digital money, right?
Mm-hmm.
But how are you going to get digital currency if you don't work? Universal income.
Mm-hmm.
That's where that comes in. Everybody's going to get a certain amount of money, and this is it.
Yeah.
So you live off of this amount of money. Good luck if you can buy bread.
Well, and that's where the option comes in, because either you work or you don't, because it doesn't matter. You're still going to get X amount of digital money in your account. So it's up to you if you want to work or if you don't.
Yeah. And then he also said electricity constraints.
Mm-hmm.
Think of that. They're going to control electricity. It's like we've been trying to tell people, listen, you're going to have to, and we're not talking about getting off grid like you're going to move to a remote island and nobody's ever going to find you. No.
No.
Talking about purchasing land, growing your own food, raising your own animals, having your own electricity by solar power or as a backup. And then you're going to have the other side. You're going to have people say, well, why do it? They're going to come after it. So are you just going to throw your hands up and say, well, I'm not going to do anything? That's what a lot of people are doing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you know what? Because they want to get so negative and say, well, if I go purchase animals, now I got to go work and go feed the animals. Yeah, that's part of raising animals.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to feed them so they can feed you later.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
That's how it was from the very beginning.
That's how it should have been.
Well, that's how it was from the beginning,
yeah.
but that's how it should have continued to go. Yes.
to where you get taught from a child that this is how you live.
Mm-hmm. Now you're going to see them celebrate here in a second of no money, of money doesn't exist. You're going to see them. So let's do a toast. Yeah, they're literally just laughing at the people because they're doing it right in front of people, and people are still asleep.
Mm-hmm.
They're asleep, thinking this can't be real. That's what they're thinking. And some of them don't even realize that this is happening because they're stuck on their phones. Mm-hmm. They're stuck believing the lie. So let's keep going.
Thoughts?
By the way, the NVIDIA earnings call is later today.
And by the way, since currency is relevant.
Cheers.
Elon just wants to share with you some breaking news. The two of us would like to share some breaking news. Let's see. I would say there's different horizons you could look at. Everybody's jobs will be different. I think that's for sure. How the students learn will be different. How people do their work will be different, obviously, because a lot of the things that we do mundanely or arduously or very difficultly are going to be done very simply. And so we're going to be more productive from that sense. One of the things that I will say is that for most people or a company, if your life becomes more productive, and if the things that you're doing with great difficulty become simpler, it is very likely, because you have so many ideas, you'll have more time to go pursue things. It is my guess that Elon will be busier as a result of AI. I'm going to be busier as a result of AI. And the reason for that is because we have so many ideas we want to pursue, so many things that we still have in our backlog inside our company that we can go pursue. If we were more productive, we can get to those things faster. And so in the near term, I would say that there's every evidence that we will be more productive and yet still be busier because we have so many ideas. One thing that I will say, give you some evidence, is that and I was just telling Elon about this earlier, radiology, for example, has largely been converted to AI-driven radiology, and there's some really great companies doing that. And the surprising thing is the prediction that all radiologists would be the first jobs to go was exactly the opposite. The trend shows that there are more radiologists being hired now as a result of AI. And the reason for that, if you take a step back, it's because the goal of a radiologist is not to study the images. The goal of a radiologist is to diagnose a disease. Now the studying of the images became so productive, they could study more images, study more modalities, spend more time with the patients. And as a result, they were actually accepting more patients. We're doing more radiology all around the world. We're doing a better job with diagnosing disease. And so that's kind of the near-term outcome of AI and productivity. And we'll see what happens long-term. You know, when currency doesn't matter anymore, just, you know, let me know right before.
You hear them joking about when currency doesn't matter anymore. I mean, they're literally laughing because they know it's about to happen.
Mm-hmm.
They know it's coming.
Yeah.
Because they're part of the entire group that's pushing this for it to happen. You heard him say every job will be different. Just think about that. Every job will be different. What he's really meaning to say is, good luck. You're going to have to go find a job that AI cannot do. I mean, you just heard him talk that AI, I mean, just in my line of work right now, man, we are getting, I walked in this morning from not being at work over the weekend. And of course, my entire computer is different now. AI. It's all AI. And that gives you a whole description of everything that is included in the AI system. And you have to agree to the entire AI system, and you have to log in all your credentials. Once you log in, then you're able to operate the computer again. Yeah, AI. It literally tells you that everything is being monitored. Everything that you're doing is being monitored. Just think of it. And then he goes, radiology, AI driven. Mm-hmm. I'm telling you, we're there at the hospital. We saw AI and everything they did. In fact, they had a handheld. Everything that they did, everything was in the handheld.
Mm-hmm. Everything was being recorded. Everything was being scanned.
Mm-hmm.
There was nothing being typed up or nothing being written on anything. Everything was being scanned.
In fact, Dora noticed that whenever the nurse walked in, that it will pop up on the screen.
Yeah, and she just walked into the room. So I'm like, okay, so where's the camera? You know, where is the device that's picking up that she's walking in? Because she's carrying something that is digitally, you know, talking to.
Well, actually, she had mentioned to us and told us that that camera up there, the whole system that they have right in front inside the room, it's all AI driven. It's about to be monitoring everything. It's going to be monitoring the patient while the patient is there.
Right, because the TV in the room was part computer. Mm-hmm. Because that's what we're saying, that's where, you know, everything would pop up. You know, you're watching TV, but you know it's a split screen, so everything of the person that's there is on one side, and then the regular TV's on the other side. As soon as a nurse would come in, her name and her picture would pop up on the TV. This is her, and this is, you know, the nurse's name. And I'm like, I mean, that is all AI driven.
In fact, that's how you ordered the food, was through the television.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. You ordered, you know, the food through the TV. I mean, everything was all electronic.
Mm-hmm. Okay, let's go to the next one.
I need to move the mic.
All right.
Okay, come on, we'll share this one.
All right. So now,
get closer.
Let's try this one more time. So one of them is Professor Omar Yagi, who's the first American Saudi to win a Nobel Prize in creating new chemistry. And the way he has done that, he has leveraged your AI accelerators and models like Grok to be able to create new chemistry when it comes to metal organic frameworks. Those are metal ions that are positively charged with organic linkers to be able to effectively create a sponge with 0.33 nanometers pores to capture water from air and also to capture carbon dioxide. The second story has also to do with AI accelerated by NVIDIA and with models like Grok, which is nanopalm, which is effectively creating a nanorobot 500 nanometers by 1,000 nanometers to be able to do gene editing, leveraging the CRISPR technology to take out sickle cell disease. Now, in both these instances, they originated 20 years ago in research, but AI was able to really accelerate the outcomes and the outputs such that we can move into new value pools. So I think with every technological trend, humanity is going to always manage to shift to new value pools when it comes to workforce and productivity. But we have some great announcements to talk about here today. Let's begin with you, Elon.
Okay. Think of exactly what he just said about the nano robot that it is gene editing. Think of it. Is it possible that that's part of what the mark of the beast is in the book of Revelation, that says that anybody takes the mark of the beast doesn't go to heaven, but hell?
Mm-hmm.
Think of it. Why? I know people say, well, see, he's worshiping the beast. Okay. How many people throughout their lifetime that lived in sin for 30, 40, 50 years were worshiping demonic spirits, were into the tarot cards, were into all the other demonic stuff, and well, there was the music and whatever else. And then they repented and asked the Lord to come into their life. And they changed and they followed Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
They ended up in heaven, right?
Yes, there's a
Mm-hmm.
chance to do that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But is this right here in the book of Revelation that Jesus says that the minute they take that mark, they can no longer be a child of God? Is it possible that it is because of this gene editing that happens inside your body that changes you from a human to humanoid to part machine to whatever it is? Is it possible? Because the minute they take that, that's it. They're done.
Yes, it's going to be very drastic to where it's going to change your DNA.
Mm-hmm.
In other words, how the Lord made you and sculpted you, everything about you, that is going to change.
Mm-hmm.
So you no longer are you're not
Savable. You can't be saved.
savable, and the creation, that the
Mm-hmm.
Creator created you is not you anymore.
In other words, God created us in His image.
Yes,
You are no longer in His image.
that's right. That's right. So there's no going back
Think of that.
once you do that.
You heard this over and over, the gene editing.
Mm-hmm.
This has been going on for years that they've been talking about this. I mean, just think of it. People operated in fear and immediately took the jab. They operated in fear and immediately put the mask on. And you still mention these two things, and people get so angry instead of saying, okay, let me step back. Yeah, I was deceived. And I'm glad I won't be deceived like that again.
Mm-hmm.
But people operating in fear. Imagine whenever you can't buy or sell, you can't eat, you can't function in society. People get freaked out.
Yeah.
I mean, people get freaked out just on social media because somebody didn't like their video. Somebody didn't give them a thumbs up. Somebody didn't like their picture.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody didn't like their comment. They get upset because they're accustomed to wanting to be liked. So imagine, just imagine not being able to buy and sell, not able to function in society, not able to work, not able to purchase for your family or support your family, not able to eat or drink. I mean, that's desperation.
Yes.
Let's go to the next one.
Went from 90% to 10%. And meanwhile, accelerated computing went from the other way, 10% to now 90%. Okay, so you're seeing that inflection point. the transition in high performance computing from general purpose computing to accelerated computing. Well, one of the most intensive computation things that the world does in cloud is data processing. Several $100 billion of computation is done on just raw data processing. It has nothing to do with AI. Just SQL processing, data frames, everybody's names, address, their sex, their age, where they live, how much money they make. All of that sits into a data frame, and that data frame drives the world today, whether it's in banking or whether it's in credit cards or, of course, e-commerce and everything from ad recommendation, everything is driven off of that data frame. That data frame costs hundreds of dollars to go compute. And so that's the number one thing, end of Moore's law. The second thing is generative. The last 15 years is called REXs, recommender systems. How do we know what information to recommend to us in a social feed? How do you know what ad to recommend to somebody, what book to recommend, what movie to recommend? The internet is so gigantic without a recommender system that a little tiny phone of us will have no chance of ever seeing the right information. That REXs is the engine of the internet today. That's going generative AI. It used to be running on CPUs, now it runs on GPUs, which then says the third thing, if you just look at those two applications, many of the internet companies can build an enormous number of GPU supercomputers just doing that. Of course, then it creates the third opportunity on top of it, which is agentic AI. This is Grok, and this is OpenAI, this is Anthropic, this is Gemini. Agentic AI sits on top of that. But don't forget to think about what is happening underneath what everybody sees as AI today. There's a whole movement of computing from general purpose computing to accelerated computing. And that, if you take that into consideration, you'll come to the conclusion that in fact, what is left over to fuel that revolutionary agentic AI is not only substantially less than you thought, and all of it justified.
Did you get all that? Okay, you can take us off of that. All right, so let's go back and let's do a quick review on what was said on that entire video. By all means, go back and watch it and listen to it. Pay attention to it. On the last one, he said everyone's data, all their information is there. Everything in order to function is there. He also said, think about it. We need this technology in order to recommend information for you to receive. We've been telling people for years to go get a physical Bible because things are changing and they're going to deceive. This is where this mass deception is coming through AI. How? It's going to recommend information that you need to receive. It's going to send information for you to receive. You're only going to be allowed to see the information that is being recommended to you. The search engine is not going to work like you think it is. You're going to type in stuff in there, you're not going to be able to find it. There's times that I can't find information that I want to find. It's not there. In fact, me and Dora were having, and Joe were all sitting down having a discussion, and I had mentioned this person's name. And guess what? The next day it popped up on our social media. Yeah. Next day it popped up. First thing I opened it up and the name popped up. His info popped up. His videos popped up. I was like, I never even searched it.
Right. Yeah.
It's not a lie. Get on here. In fact, when you go see your family on Thanksgiving, and you might have family that has no clue what's going on in the world, just start talking about it. Just a little bit. Don't talk a lot there where it gets them upset. Just a little bit. And then let the algorithm do the rest.
Mm-hmm.
Before you know it, it's going to be popping up all over the social media.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Let AI work for you. Start talking about Jesus. Start talking about what's going on in the world. Start talking about prepping. Start talking about getting prepared. Start talking about how these people have been lying to and all these lies, and start just talking about it. and let AI, let the algorithms go ahead and send the information to them after Thanksgiving.
Mhm.
Just watch. See, let's do a quick review. At the beginning, they were talking about, he said, optional work. He said, money will not exist. Money does not exist any longer. They will put constraints on electricity. Think of that. Why do you think they're pushing to get rid of gas stoves, wood burning stoves? Yeah, full control.
Yeah.
They also talk about every job will be different. I am telling you have to learn different trades. You're going to have to learn how to do things for yourself.
Yes.
None of this, I'm going to make a phone call and get somebody. In fact, I was having that discussion today at work with some coworkers that this gentleman went to go do a fence for a coworker, and he did the entire backyard fence by himself. And the coworker asked him, "Hey, why are you by yourself? Where's your crew?" He said, "I can't get anyone to work. Nobody wants to work anymore." That's true. People do not want to work. And then they talked about, of course, your radiology AI driven. AI does diagnosis. Nano, just think of it. Gene editing.
Mhm.
They want to inject stuff in people for gene editing. Why? I know they're going to sell it as we want to put this in your body so we can kill the disease. So we can know exactly which cell it needs to go after.
Mhm.
They're going to sell it like that. And people are like, "Oh, sure, I'll take it." And everybody's data is out there. And of course, that was this morning also. I was discussing it with Dora. The email.
Mhm.
I pulled up the email and it didn't let me go through my email. It said we have new stuff that they did. You know, they changed it, new information and data and so on. You go through it, and it was. In fact, I took a screenshot of it. Yeah, let me see if I can find that, because I said, "Well, this is pretty bad." So it tells you, unless stated differently for your country in Section 14, we may temporarily or permanently suspend or terminate your account or impose limits on or restrict your access to parts or all of the services at any time without notice and for any reason,
Mhm.
including but not limited to violations of these terms, court order, or inactivity. Think of it. This is just your email.
Mhm.
What else are they going to do with social media?
Right.
How else are they going to be able to give information out, right?
Yes.
It tells you right here. We may temporarily or permanently suspend or terminate your account or impose limits
Mhm.
on or restrict your access to parts or all of the services at any time without notice and for any reason.
Any reason. It's not even telling you, well, these are the guidelines. If you stay within these guidelines, you know, you'll be fine. But if you go out of these guidelines, then no. It's just like, no, you don't have guidelines anymore. At any point in time, if we want to, we can just say your account is frozen.
How do you think they're going to deceive people? They were like, "Wait a minute, you're giving out too much information. You're waking up people. You're telling the truth," which we already see it. We've been seeing it in years on our Facebook page, on our YouTube. We've been censored a lot. Why? Because we're telling people the truth. They don't want people to know the truth. So that's how they censor. They get rid of it. That's how they're going to get false information to you.
Mhm. Yeah.
I mean, just think about it right now. If there was to say, you know what, we're shutting all internet, we're shutting all social media, we're shutting all televisions down, and then we'll put one channel up for everybody to watch. And we're going to relay all the information to that one channel.
Mhm.
Imagine the people that are still asleep. Imagine the people that still don't know what's going on. Imagine the people that are still believing the lies. Imagine the people that are still confused and don't know what's going on. Imagine what would happen to them. Think of that.
Yes.
Everyone else that's awake right now would see right through of what is going on. And they would know that the minute that somebody rose up and says, come on, follow me, load up in these buses and we're going to take you to a safe location, they would know better than to go with them. The rest would hurry up and go in there. Oh yeah, I'm scared. I only have one channel. I don't know what's going on. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, people got to wake up. People have to wake up.
And it's even more frustrating whenever you have videos like this that we just showed you, that they're just telling you out there in the open. They're laughing. They're telling jokes about it. I mean, how much more upfront, in your face is it going to be? Are you going to wait for that knock on your door and say, here we are, we're here to take you where you're going to be safe?
Safety, yeah.
Because there's something coming, but yet you're not going to ask no questions. You're just going to go because they're telling you it's something that you need.
I mean, they were cheering. Hey, let's cheer for. There's going to be no. Yeah, let's toast. No money.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody's going to have any money anymore. Universal income.
Yeah.
And the sad part is we were in that seed faith. We were in that prosperity gospel. We were in that word of faith that you're a God and you can create things into existence. We were in a so money and God will bring you more money because it's not even in the Bible, but yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Or it's twisting scripture. We were into that. What's sad is those people are still lost and still believing. As long as I give money, I don't have to prepare. I don't have to believe. No, God said, prepare, get ready. It's coming. It's on its way. It's here. Things are changing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Sad that they're going to be lost, and it's sad. It's going to be a rude awakening for them. Because the same ones that are telling them, hey, you just keep giving me your money, because this is one thing that they have how they taught it, and I've always seen it that way because it was the way they was taught. I'm believing for a plane, a $50 million plane. So I want you to believe for me. So I need you to sow a seed. Sow a seed so I can purchase this plane. That's what it basically means.
Mm-hmm.
Sow your money so I can purchase this $50 million plane because I'm believing for this $50 million plane, but I need you to pay for it.
Yeah.
And what do? Okay. We gave money.
Mm-hmm.
If you will see the amount of money that we would give, it's ridiculous because we believed it. But I thank God that He woke us up and He got us out of that. And we are reading the Bible.
Yes.
So guys, I wanted to show you this because not to bring fear, but to show you that the Bible is clearly unfolding before our eyes. It literally is. There's no stopping it. There's no praying it away. There's only preparing. How are you going to prepare? First of all, get right with Jesus. Second of all, read His Word. Mm-hmm. Any preacher that brings anything, make sure you read it and it's in its context and not twist it. And it's a good Bible translation. Stay away from the Message and the Passion, because Passion was named after an angel. Yeah, go do your research. Mm-hmm. And you'll find out who did the Message. The reason they did the Message because they said they didn't like the way the Bible was written. So they wanted to add extra context in it to bring it out of context. Yeah. Go do your research. Don't take my word for it. Go do your research and find out who did the Message Bible, who did the Passion Bible, and you can find out that the Passion, he said, yeah, I was an angel, and angel was named Passion. He told me to name it Passion Translation, so I did the Passion Translation. And compare it to the King James, and you're going to find out a lot of error on those two translations. There's many more that are all false. So there you go. But I just want to bring this to you. Get right with the Lord. Follow Jesus. And prepare the best you can.
That's right. That's all we can all do.
Yep.
Do exactly that. Well, guys, thank you for joining us. Have a great rest of your day. And we will see if we can have a video between here and Thanksgiving.
And if not, happy Thanksgiving.
Yes. Have a great, happy Thanksgiving. Enjoy getting all that food.
I know I will.
Yes. And we will see you on the next video.